right, we are here at my tiny indoor worm bin, and there's three things that we're going to be going over. First off, we didn't add any bedding last time, so we're going to see how the bin is doing from there, and I see some, just dry bedding on top, but as I go deeper, it's not there. When we checked on the feeding previously, there was an apple core and a blackberry that still hadn't been digested. And then finally we'll go over our feeding that we just did, and right away I am seeing a worm wiggling around and some babies in there too. I don't know if we can, oh wow, there we go. Look at that. Pretty neat. I mean, right at basically the surface. And they're into some kind of peel right here. I'm not sure what it is. But we had put banana in there, strawberry, I think a little bit of a peach. But those worms are right there. So we'll keep digging in, and this is a pretty mature bin. It's 151 days since we started and 20 feedings. But we only started with 50 to 100 worms. So it took them a while to really get this thing going, and these worms have really matured. You can see, I think, just how fat that one is right there. And then some little ones in here. This was started at a vermicomposting class at my local county extension office, and right by my thumb is a baby. And, it was one of those things where they're just trying to get people interested. Wow, look at all these worms. If you look at some of the earlier videos of this bin, there just were not that many worms. I'd dig around and there'd hardly be anything, but now the population is really increased in here, which is fantastic. I think the last estimate we took, the viewers kind of decided about 275 on average. But yeah, and I've got 3 playlists, 3 bins, and you can look at all of them. But in this bin in particular, is really interesting to see how it moved forward with barely digesting anything, and then all of a sudden it was like, wow, this bin's transitioning into further castings. But we're in the feeding zone, but I'm not seeing anything solid. So lots of movement of worms, borderline worm balls. This is a strawberry top. They love the strawberries and then just take a while to get the strawberry tops themselves digested. We are going to put a decent sized feeding. This is really impressive how many castings are right here. We're going to continue to not put bedding in because I think they can keep going after this. The volume's getting high. This ridge is kind of the max I want to go because I don't want to be spilling it out through these holes. But we're getting closer and closer to harvest time. Maybe 3 more feedings. We'll see. And like we said last video, I'm going to take them out individually and count them. But look at all those worms right in there. Babies, big ones, just all types, all shapes and types. So let's just get through this corner here. Dig up, and I'm not seeing that blackberry, not seeing that apple core. Again, this feels like maybe part of a feeding zone, but it's breaking apart. Just no food there. And I think we went a little lighter on the last feeding because of seeing that apple core and blackberry. So we didn't want to overfeed, and that's really important. More plastic. This was started with office paper from that office, the county extension office, so there's some plastic in there. Big old chunky guy right here. And then several right here. It's just amazing how many worms are in here compared to when we started. This was unheard of to even have this many or see this many in a video when we first started. So this is really remarkable. Now let's go ahead and set up the feeding zone because I think I've kind of dug through here. And maybe we'll give them some moist food because it's just slightly dry. Not too bad, and I really want to be careful as I go along because the castings absorb more moisture than just regular bedding. And this is a banana peel, it appears. So a little bit of something left over, and we all know that banana peels take a little bit longer, or, I didn't know when I was starting out, but I certainly do now. So let's set up a feeding zone, and we will put in some food. We'll put this down here, and I freeze all my food, certainly after doing some experiments. And knowing that frozen food really helps to break down the food prior to it going in here on a physical level. And then the microbes and other critters and decomposers kind of do the rest. But this is what we're gonna choose from. I'm certainly not gonna put all this in here. So I think we're gonna have pretty good strawberry feast for them. And then we'll put in a apple peel. Here's a mango peel. Not sure how long that'll last, but the strawberries go pretty fast. I don't think I've ever seen a strawberry after 7 days checking on a bin. Just the green tops. And we'll put in a banana peel and just kind of crisscross it there. And maybe this piece of peach. That'll about do it for the feeding. So we'll add some coffee, which I guess is technically more food for them. There we go there. And then we'll put some grit. And that's a pretty good feeding. I think in 7 days, we're not gonna see much other than the banana stem right there. And that might be all we see. But if you like this video and you wanna see more of this kind of thing, you can certainly subscribe. And like I said earlier, I've got 3 bins, very different type bins. And I've taken videos from them when I started them basically. And you can see the bins go from start to finish castings, which is kind of a neat progression to see. But I think that will about do it for this bin. It's looking good. It's getting really close to harvest time. And with this no bedding, I think we're gonna see some more of this stuff disappear for the next feeding. So hope everybody's having a great day and happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now.